I've been illustrating for a long time, and most of my work was portrait related. I was asked if I could produce a print that looked like a tessellation, so I decided to teach myself the basics. And over the course of 2 weeks I learned how to do it and produced a design, and then the obsession grew from there, really. Whenever you create any tessellation, you always have to start with a very basic geometric shape. The next step is to take a look at our reference, which is the George O'Keeffe hands. With a tessellation, wherever there's something cutting into the square, that same pattern, that same shape has to kind of exit the square at the other side. So what I'll do is I'll do a rough tracing of the outline, which helps me to see the silhouette a lot more clearly. And already you can sort of see where the negative space between the fingers kind of creates the shape of fingers. And then down here you've got what sort of looks like a thumb going into a forefinger. I've then traced those two elements. And then, because we're working with a square, when this shape eventually repeats, this line needs to be the same as this line, and this line needs to be the same as that line. So I know that if I place this here, that this line has to be exactly the same. So when I start laying these over the base shape, you can begin to see whether or not something is working. So clearly that's not going to work there because we've got an overlap. But because this is such a nice positive versus negative thing that we've got going on here, I'm going to see if I can maybe cut this shape in thirds. So laying that over there, already you can sort of see the beginnings of maybe 3 hands. So you've got one hand here, you've got another one happening over here, and then you've also got the thumb and forefinger of one potentially happening over here. So we've got the beginnings of 3 hands. So the next thing to do is to create a further line here and here that close in the shape. And then from that point, it's about honing that drawing and making it look more organic. You might have to sacrifice some accuracy in terms of lightness in one corner of the tile to create more accuracy in another corner. So it's all about compromise and balance. Tessellating hands was really quite difficult. I think that when something is more challenging, the reward of producing something successful is that much greater.